Okay, so the reason I'm here is I was about a year ago in Dr. Irene's 540 class, teaching adults literacy, and that's where I found out about how much of a struggle it is for naturalization candidates trying to gain their citizenship by just trying to go through the paperwork and the process. The stack of papers are at least this thick, and could you imagine if you were trying to read this and it was in another language? It'd be kind of hard. Well, try doing that to gain your citizenship. Okay, so welcome to my PowerPoint. So what is a CBO? It stands for Community-Based Organization, which is designed to connect volunteers with people in need. This particular CBO is going to focus on connecting TESOL students, attorneys, naturalization candidates with each other to help guide the candidates towards gaining their citizenship. Helping them navigate through the extensive paperwork is often very daunting and intimidating for them. It's overwhelming. So hopefully we can link them together as a team to help them gain their citizenship faster. Oops, wrong way. By collaborating with volunteers from the Cal State University Fullerton Shine program, TESOL students, legal advisors, and myself, I hope to develop a lasting program that can assist adult immigrant students with steps of the naturalization process. CBO is more complex than just opening the door for somebody. There are liability issues, contracts, and proposals to consider. Can you hear me? Is this louder? Okay. Just feels okay. The Cal State Fullerton Shine program, I know you're all aware of that, what it is, but I'll give you the Cliff Note version. It connects TESOL students who wish to gain teacher training expertise with students who are learning English. And it's an excellent model for what a CBO actually is and what it can accomplish. Oops. CBO plan. Collaborative effort with Shine and TESOL students. I spoke with Dawn Macy from Cal State Fullerton's Center for Internships and Communication Engagement, CC, about the liability issues to consider when creating partnerships. So you can't just go in and walk in and say, hey, I want to get all your Shine students and your TESOL students and just gain volunteers without having some sort of HR and HR and legal protection, you know. So that's why you sign these liability forms, and that has to be taken into account. I thought giving it a name, right? Sometimes you forget the very basics. It's important to give the CBO a name that's memorable and can be placed on forms and give the concept a venue and an identity. I decided to call my future CBO Get Green. I asked my friend if that was strange, and she said, no, green is the color of hope, life, and money. Let's do it. All of these components are closely related to the compassion and hopes required of those involved in a CBO. Framework. So the design, I gained knowledge about CBO, the way it works, was from Rebecca Dyer's article, Successful Strategies in Family Literacy, where she showed us all the components that are required to build a CBO. So you start with the rationale. That's like what you got to do is basically you got to create a professional look. The more professional it is, you know, it's like when you dress up, you feel better. The more people are going to want to go, right? This one includes a discussion of the purpose for starting a CBO, which is to create a platform for advocating for adult immigrant students in need of assistance with the naturalization process. I picked a topic that's full of tongue twisters, so hang on to that. By collaborating with volunteers from the Shine program, so maybe getting the Shine TESOL students like yourselves who want to volunteer, but they want to get credit for it. You know, get credit as part of their teacher training. Going to legal students that are trying to become attorneys and they need to do pro bono work, asking them for help, and connecting them with students with the naturalization process. These were the components that she suggested. I'm going to go over a couple of them, but basically a need for a community, partnerships, visions, goals, some models, the MOU, which we'll talk about, funding, and assessment. And then these ones, we'll go over them in a second. So, need in a community. I don't know about you, I think there's probably a large percentage of the community who could benefit from the CBO that focuses on assisting citizens with naturalization process. Probably a couple million, but so that we got that covered. Partnerships and collaboration. Volunteers, Shine, TESOL students, me, a budgeting consultant, which I thought of today. You know, my best friend's really good with taxes. She's the one that kind of is she is a successful story of gaining naturalization, but it took her 10 years. She works at Netflix now, and so she's a success story. And part of the inspiration for this, I guess, goal. And then my attorney, my dad, well, he's also my dad. It's good. An attorney, my dad, and other legal volunteers. So he's probably not going to be the only one to do it. But he's done a lot of volunteer work in the legal field. And sometimes it just requires helping people figure out where to find the forms on the website. I worked as a legal secretary sometimes for him, and I would just I would be baffled and so confused trying to find the forms. Legal counsel and advocacy, somebody to protect them. Visions and goals, it's still a work in progress. I want to create a user-friendly webpage to connect the lawyers, the students, and the candidates. And visualize a certified program that gives students volunteer credit for volunteer work commitment. So if they are going to gain something from it that's not financial, they can at least gain a history of a resume builder. So there are models, rideshare companies. You know, several rideshare companies out there, while I know it's not a charity-based organization, it is a great business platform for connecting different people together by being able to provide them with a ride. You can call them at 4 in the morning, you can call them at 8 in the morning, and they'll get there really quickly. Why not help create an application or technology that would allow candidates learning English and wanting to gain their citizenship access? You know, maybe a multi-layered app that connects the lawyers with the students and the teachers and the candidates so that they can say, okay, I completed this much volunteer time. Oh, look, I did this, you know, and then all the forms will be up there too. Program models, Project Shine. That's a great example of a very, you know, charity-based organization. And EOPS, where I work, it's not exactly a CBO, but it shows how a CBO works when it's successful. I spoke with a student from Santa Ana College who says she's able to gain benefits she wouldn't be able to do. She's from Vietnam, she's a single mom, and you know, they provide a resource for her that has given her a chance to make it, and she's a really good student. She's expressed the gratitude for the program. She explained that the accountability that students have through contracts and appointments, while they're formal, it brings them back. It encourages them to continue to stay in school, stay in EOP, stay in the program, and keep going. And then we have the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding. It's basically an informal contract, in a sense. It gives the program definition and structure. It's like the core. And it acts like a checklist to evaluate your program so you can accomplish your goals. And these are all the things that an MOU consists of. Statement of common vision, like a mission statement. Commitment to implement the program, so on both ends, myself, the volunteers, and the volunteers. Candidates. Joint leadership to ensure all requirements are met, frequency of meetings, well-defined roles and responsibilities, that stuff. The process of dealing with issues and disagreements, those will be fun. Relationships of the program coordinator to the collaborators. The authority of the program, like, okay, I'm going to come here, I'm going to come here this time on this day. Basic procedures for collecting the data and evaluation afterwards. Because if you don't know if it's successful or not, you know, you're not going to be able to maintain it. So you got to do research even after you start it. Persuading, accountability, okay. Write a promise note, That's basically, I think, the most important part that gets the students coming back is that note. You know, maybe make it on fancy paper. Don't come back anymore. And all that stuff. Student population, it's basically a pilot, like a show. A show has a pilot, so the network's going to say, hey, this is a good show or not. I got to find out if it is, so I'm not going to get everybody. I'm going to pick like 10 or so that fit within a certain profile. So maybe there are 10 adults that are young parents trying to gain their citizenship and just seeing if it actually works. Philosophy, we use these structures, basically all of them, you know, but I like to consider it like pliable, like dough. It incorporates an understanding of different situations that can occur, unforeseen difficulties, and with those, the philosophy will adjust to fit the needs of the candidates and the volunteers as well as the program. Right now, the location is the law office on Santa Ana. It's probably going to change. You know how it is. Assessment and staff training. These are some suggested type of like manuals that you could use to help you. But also the teachers in training, you guys are going to be almost trained from the get-go, because you're going to just helping them, guide them through that the paperwork process. That's funding. And then the funding, have social gatherings. Create funding, you know, fundraising. It's free, but you still need paper. People always love food. If you promise snacks, they will attend your meetings. Or to eat the snacks, but as my students like to say, to eat the snakes. Have fundraisers, seek donations, volunteers who work for free. And that kind of connects with the retention of the program. If candidates are motivated to seek your assistance, the program will have a highly likelihood for sustainability. Have a good day. That's it.